So hello again, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And I was thinking, as I tend to do from time to time, I was thinking, for example, about eugenics and how I guess we haven't yet formed any sort of, well, let me just say, with respect to eugenics, which, as far as I understand it, is trying to breed for, this master race of people, the kind of thing that Hitler did. I think, obviously, that there are really, really bad and sad and wrong elements to it. It comes from a place of, to me, a very, especially when force is involved, to, for example, people who are mentally challenged, to sterilize them and to sterilize low-income groups of people or that kind of stuff. Yes, that's really awful. I feel that that's really horrible. I think, though, at the same time, that we already, to a degree, aside from the force, we are already selectively breeding ourselves in terms of looking for, testing babies at birth for particular genetic diseases and so on. Of course, we're not going to kill these babies or anything, but what I'm saying is that there are certain ideas with respect to eugenics that we don't really have a problem with, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think that, and with respect to triage, let me bring that in. As far as I know, triage it's primarily an idea that you might have on the battlefield, which is that you look at the people that you can help the easiest, or the people that really need your help, and you prioritize them. So if someone is, they have like a fatal injury, you decide, well, okay, let me just give them something that can help them be at peace, reduce their pain, and let me try to get to someone that I can help, and the people who I can postpone, let me postpone them. So triage, I guess it's just prioritizing the people that you can help. But the whole point of this video is the way that I think. I remember when people were talking about Obamacare, they were saying that there would be these death tribunals, and they would decide whether or not you're going to live or die. We already do that. They already do that. If you have stage 4 cancer or something, in some instances they might tell you if you have a brain tumor, an inoperable brain tumor, they're just gonna say, hey, yeah, there's nothing we can do about that one. It's not gonna work. We're not gonna. Or if when someone has a for insurance, they have a pre-existing condition. Before Obamacare, people would be like, hey, that's not our problem. You had that before you got onto this, so I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do to help you. So, and I don't really want to go into Obamacare, but it's just that there's so many ways that I see that we are still so wrong-headed, and to me, of course, in my admittedly narrow field of view, I look around and I see all these things that, for example, malaria is not a prioritized disease, but HIV might be, because there's no malaria in developed countries, so who cares? That's where all the money is, but so little funds can be put towards something to, if people aren't dying of malaria, they're going to buy your products. They're going to need probably a cell phone if they can grow up, right? If you can. So this is this conversation, I guess, is a dance, and where it came from even initially was that we see so many people dying wherever, and the idea is we kind of have to let them die, because as individuals there's nothing much that we can do. And then I thought about the fact that, okay, eugenics is supposed to help us selectively breed for or against or good. It's supposed to help us selectively breed for good traits and to try to weed out the bad traits that can exist. But at the same time, to someone coming in, obviously, to someone coming in to take a look at it, there are many aspects of what traditional eugenics that was practiced by Hitler and the Nazis that's really awful. Trying to kill off or commit genocide against the Roma people, or those things are horrible. But there's some parts of it, well, I think maybe, I'm coming to a realization that the whole idea was not to, it was really to breed a master race, to have, this is the best corn, let's only breed this corn and let everybody. So maybe any benefits that I thought about with respect to eugenics are just, stupid. It could be. And maybe I just needed to go over eugenics in my head. And I'm sorry for some of these rambling talks. But, this is, and I'm sorry again, but I realize that some of these talks really don't have to do too much with you who might be listening. It has to do with me going over things in my head that I suppose I could take hours and hours and days going over a script to create this thing, to completely flesh out everything and really come to my beliefs. But I don't mind having to do it and even being wrong in some of these things, because I probably would really get tired of trying to create one video or audio a week that I thought was good, that when I come back to 5 years later I realize, ooh, that's wrong. So if I'm going to be wrong, let me just be wrong and strong then, and just make a fool of myself in public. I don't know. But yeah, maybe eugenics is just completely stupid. But like I said, the world's unfair, I guess. And part of it comes from this article I was reading about a girl who had sickle cell anemia, and she got gene therapy for it, and how it was practically, in terms of the healthcare for her, it cost millions and millions of dollars. And her parents' determination to make sure that she would get the care that she needed. And that's right. What parent wouldn't do that? At the same time, though, I mean, if when people are going to get a marriage license, you screen people and you say, hey, you have this particular predisposition for disease in your kids, and you too. So, because for the specific girl, in her instance, it was only when her parents had her and they did the genetic screening that they discovered that, hey, she has sickle cell anemia. And her father was like, what's sickle cell anemia? And, in the article, they go on to say, how, all of the different excruciating pain instances that she had to go through, because nobody had screened her parents beforehand and said, hey, you're going to have this chance of having a kid. And to me, it's like, we can do it. We know we can do it. Why don't you just do it? People apply for a marriage license, encourage people to go ahead and get screened before you have kids. or just to help people, or to put them on maybe some kind of, because in the end, once her parents realized how hard her life was, they decided they didn't want to have any more kids. But they still ended up having another kid, of course, by accident, as most of us, or I myself, came about. So and my point is, again, as it always seems to end up being, we think we're so smart, and then there are just some glaringly obvious things that we should already be doing already that we aren't. And it's just crazy. I mean, anybody reading that article, let's say, okay, fine, this girl is, I think she's 15 or 16, and she's going through that. Anybody reading that article should say, hey, let's get together, and as people get married, do a genetic screening on them to see what kind of problems their kids could have. It seems that somebody somewhere should be doing that, and maybe they are, but I've never heard of it. I've heard about babies being screened at birth, which is a little bit late, but I've never heard of parents or even anybody suggesting to people, hey, you like somebody? Why don't you do a genetic screen with them to see whether or not what diseases your kids might be at risk for? I've never heard of that, and it seems like it might be a good idea. Of course, so many kids are born without any problems, but the same way that it's so easy to do a genetic screen at birth, it should be so easy to do a screen of your parents before you even decide to have kids. That should be something, or people should be encouraged to it's cheap enough already, right? Go out and get screened so you know what you have that you have to look out for in your partner. So anyway, I don't even know what to title this video, but maybe I'll just stick with triage and eugenics. So anyway, guys, wish me lucks. That's like or unlike, comment and or subscribe or share. And I need subscribers, and I need views, and I need all these other things. At the end of the day, a lot of these audios are for myself to help me hash out some of these, but hopefully they can help you too. So thanks. Bye.